I hope that you're well and also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today we'll be doing our grade 1 English lesson on prepositions. And before we start with our lesson on prepositions, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once we've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of language arts, grade 1, and then we're going to scroll down up until we get to the chapter of prepositions. All right. So we are doing the chapter of prepositions. Our subject is English language arts, grade 1. And the lessons that we are focusing on is to select the best preposition to match the picture, select the best preposition to also complete the sentence. And we are doing our tutorial lesson on aplusstudents.ca. All right, so prepositions. Prepositions, it's words that tell us where something is or where something happens. So when we say tell us where something is, then it can either be words that is, for example, on top, under, beside, below, right? So it basically tells you where something is, right? So for example, if you maybe have a box, and then you can maybe say the cat is in the box, or you can say the cat is outside the box. So you can say the cat is beside the box, next to the box. If you have a chair, maybe the bag is on the chair or under the chair or next to the chair or behind the chair, right? So words like behind, next to, beside, on top, under, those are prepositions, and it's words that tells us where something is or that tells us where something happens. An example is the cat is under the bed. So basically our preposition is under. It tells us where the cat is. And then we say she jumps on the bed. And the preposition within the sentence is on. And that tells us basically where something is or where something happens, right? So this is telling us where something happens. She jumps on the bed, and then the cat is under the bed. That tells us where something is. And a few examples, right, of prepositions that tells us where something is or where something happens, right, is words like above, behind, beside, between, by, in front of, inside, next to, on, outside, as well as under. So these are our prepositions. And once again, it is words that tell us where something is, or it is words that tell us where something happens. All right, so now we're going to do let's say, a little activity, right? Just to see if we have a little understanding of prepositions. So we said prepositions are words that tell us where something is or where something happens, right? And once again, it is words like above, behind, beside, between, by, in front of, inside, next to, on, outside, and under. So we are going to look at a few of the examples, or let's say extra examples, and then we are going to get the preposition or find the prepositions of these words. All right, and before we go on to our little activity, right? If we can think of another live example of a preposition, then we can think of, if you think of where you're currently sitting at, right? So you are probably sitting on the chair, right? Or you may be sitting on the bed. Um, and you either have your laptop or TV or computer in front of you. So basically, our preposition is if you are sitting on the chair, so it's like we can say, I am sitting on the chair, right? That is basically that's maybe where you're sitting now. So you're sitting on the chair, so which means that our preposition is on. And if you have either your computer or you have your laptop in front of you, and then you can say, the laptop is in front of me, right? So which means that our preposition is in front of, right? So that is prepositions. It is words that tell us where something is or tell us where something happens, which means that the laptop or computer is in front of you, right? And you are sitting on the chair or you're sitting on The bed, right? If it's May, okay, I'm sure it's probably winter still by you. So now we can also say the heater, let's say the heater is by my feet, right? So now you have the heater by your feet and it's heating up your feet. And that basically tells us where something is. All right, no problem. Let's go again. Okay, so we are doing prepositions, right? And prepositions, it tells us where something is. It tells us where something is. Okay, so it's not okay, so it's not Judy, it's Divine. So thanks for giving me your real name. So at least now I know it's not Judy, it's Divine. No problem, Divine. I'm going to explain it again to you, right? So prepositions, it tells us where something is, right? Or it tells us where something happens. Like for example, right? Let's say, okay, answer this question. What are you doing now? Let me answer this question. Type out and tell me what you're doing now, Divine. So in a sentence, tell me what you're doing now. All right. So you're doing lessons, right? So if you're doing your lesson, but now the question is, where are you sitting and doing your lesson? Because I know some of you watches it on the TV, some of you watch it on your laptop, some of you watch it on your computer, some of you watch it on your tablet. All right. So if you are watching it on your PC, right, then it means that you have your PC in front of you, right? So you have your PC in front of you. So which means that it is telling us where the PC is at. So the word in front of, it basically, that is a preposition because it tells us where the PC is at, right? So the same with TV, right? If we are watching the TV, right, the TV is basically like in front of us, right? So which means that in front of is the preposition because it tells us where the PC or where the TV or where the laptop is at, right? And if you are sitting, right? So if you're sitting down, so now like I'm sitting on a chair, right? In front of my PC by my desk, right? So let me do this. All right, let's do this. So if I am, like currently what I'm doing is I am sitting in front of my laptop, right? So that is what I'm doing. And that is also what you are doing, right? So someone is either sitting in front of, like for example, Divine is sitting in front of her PC, Judy in front of the laptop, Samuel in front of the tablet, or in front of the TV, right? The television. But now our preposition is in front of because it tells us where either the laptop, the PC, the tablet, or the whatever is, right? Like, for example, the tablet. So, because it's a tablet can easily just be in your hand, So we can say maybe the tablet is in my hand, right? So basically, if we look at that sentence, the tablet is in my hand. So now the question is, where is the tablet? So now if we look at the sentence, right? So you're going to identify one of these words that tells us where the tablet is. And if we were to identify where the tablet is, then we say it is in my hand, right? Oh yes, I am sitting on my chair, right? I am sitting on my chair. And if we were to identify the preposition within that sentence, right, what is the word or the preposition that would be, or what is that one word that is a preposition within that sentence that tells us where or what you are doing? So we're going to identify one word that tells us what we are doing or where we are sitting. What is that one word within that sentence? It says, I am sitting on my chair. So if we identify the preposition within this sentence, right, then we will say, I am sitting on my chair, right? So I'm sitting on my chair. So which means that so far, if we look at these three words that were circled, right? These three words are our preposition. It either tells us where something is or it tells us where something happens, right? For example, I am sitting in front of my laptop, which means that in front of is a preposition. The tablet is in my hand. So now you're asking yourself, where is my tablet? It is in my hand. I am sitting on my chair, or I'm sitting on the bed, or I'm sitting on the couch. So now the question is, where are you sitting, or where is, the act happening? On is our preposition. Yes, in front of, wonderful. So which means that your PC is in front of you, right? It's the same as if you go to the fridge. If you go to the fridge and you were to take out the milk, right? Then where would the milk be? If you go to the fridge and your mom asks you to take out the milk, where would the milk be? All right, so if we were to, based on the question that I asked, right? If your parent asks you to take out the milk, right? Then if you were to go to the fridge and take out the milk, then it means that the milk would be in the fridge, right? So which means that you're first gonna have to open up the fridge and take out the milk that is in the fridge, right? So that is basically our preposition. It tells us where something is, right? If you go to school and they ask you to take out your homework, right? Then it means that your homework or your homework book is going to be in your bag. So it means that you're going to have to open up your bag and take out your homework book from your bag that is in your bag, right? All right. So do we have a clearer understanding or better understanding now of what the preposition is? Everybody, Divine, do we understand prepositions now? Or do I have to go over it again? All right. Okay. So if we know, then we can move along. All right. I'm glad. Okay. So now before we go on to our tutorial lesson, right, on aplusstudents.ca, before we go on to that, let us quickly go over these few examples, right? Or let us go to our tutorial lesson first, do our test, and then we will come back and do these examples, right? So we're going to aplusstudents.ca and we're going to our first lesson that says we need to select the best preposition to match the picture, which means that a picture will be given and you're basically going to say where that thing is or where something happens, right? All right. It says we need to complete the sentence to match the picture. The cat is the pen. So where is the cat? Here we have our pen. So over here we have our pen and here we have our cat. So where is our cat? So the cat is the pen. We need to say where the cat is by the pen. We can use words like above. So now we need to ask ourselves, is the cat above the pen? Is the cat behind the pen? Beside the pen? Is the cat between the pen? Is the cat by the pen? Is the cat in the pen, in front of the pen, inside of the pen? Is the cat next to the pen, on the pen, outside the pen, or is the cat under the pen? We need to say where the cat is in the pen. All right, so if we were to choose or say where our cat is, right? Like I said, the cat is over here. Here we have our cat is on the counter. So the cat is sitting on the counter, right? And here we have our pan that is on the stove. And the stove is next to the counter, which means that the cat is next to the pan, right? So our preposition is next to because it tells us where the cat is, right? So next to because it tells us where the cat is. Here we have the cat. Here we have the pan. and the cat is next to the pan. All right, we need to say where the girl is. Yes, well done. Next to the pan is correct, right? In the kitchen, so the word in is a preposition, but they specifically ask where compared to the pan is the cat. So next to the pan is the cat. So well done. All right, if we look at this one, it says, the girl is the water. The girl is the water. Here we have the water, right? And here we have the girl. Is she in the water? Clearly she's not, so she's not in the water. All right, we can say she's beside the water is also a word. It's also a preposition, yes. So we can either say she's beside the water or we can just say she is by the water. Okay, next to is also because here we have the water and she's basically just next to the water, right? But if you're going to the beach, right, and you sit at, let's say you sit on the sand, and then we basically say that you are sitting by the water, right? So which means that we will then say by the water. So the girl is by the water, right? But next to is also correct because it is basically next to it, right? Beside, we can also say that is also correct. Or we can say the girl is by the water. All right. Let's do one more and then we go to our test. The basket is the mat. So they are sitting the mat. Where is the basket? So here we have a basket. So here we have a basket, right? And it is where the basket is the mat. Where are they sitting? That is where the basket is. The basket is next to the boy, but where specifically when it comes to the mat is the basket? All right, so if we look at where the basket is, right? So they're sitting on the mat. So they're sitting on the mat or on the blanket, right? Which means that the basket is on the mat or it is on the blanket, right? But if we must say where the basket is when it comes to the boy, then we can say the basket is next to the boy. So the basket is next to the boy, but the basket is on the mat, right? Or on the blanket, right? So well done, everybody. And now let's go to our test. So we're going to begin our test and we're going to say where we're going to match the picture with our with this in the correct sentence. The cat is the pan. Is the cat next to the pan or is the cat under the pan? The cat is the pan. Is the cat next to the pan or is the cat under the pan? So here we have our cat, there we have our pan. Is the cat next to the pan or is the cat under the pan? All right, so if we were to say where the cat is, then we say the cat is next to the pan. And next to is correct. So well done. Next to is correct. All right, we need to say where the girl is. The girl is the girl by the water or is the girl in the water? So here's our girl sitting. She's sitting there outside on the rock or on the sand. But is she by the water or is she in the water? The girl, is she by the water or in the water? We need to say where the girl is sitting. All right. So the girl is, we will then say the girl is by the water, right? Because she's not in the water. So we will say the girl is by the water. All right. Here we have our cow. Here we have a pig running all excitedly. So now the cow is the bush. There we have a bush. Do we say the cow is next to the bush or do we say the cow is under the bushes? The cow is next to the bushes or the cow is under the bushes. We need to say where the cow is. Is the cow next to the bushes or is the cow under the bushes? All right, so if we were to say where the cow is, yeah, we have a cow. There we have our bushes, so which means that the cow is next to the bushes. So well done. Next to is correct. So well done, right? All right, so now we're going to the next lesson that says we need to select the best preposition to complete the sentence, right? So we either going to choose one of the prepositions that tells us either where something is or where something is happening, and we either going to choose words like above, behind, beside, between, by, in front of, inside, next to, on, outside, or under. We're going to use one of these words to complete our sentences, right? So we're going to choose a word which makes more sense within a sentence. All right, so here it is, the lion hides the tall grass. So the lion hides the tall grass. Does the lion hide above the tall grass, behind the tall grass, beside the tall grass, between the tall grass, by the tall grass, in or in front of the tall grass? Does the lion hide inside or next to the tall grass? Or does the lion hide on, outside, or under the tall grass? So where is the lion hiding? The tall grass. And if we were to choose the correct answer, right, if he's hiding, then it definitely means that he's hiding behind the tall grass because he doesn't want to be spotted, right? So the lion hides behind. So our preposition that we chose is behind the tall grass. He swims the two boats. So if we have two boats, right? So if this is, let's say this is the sea, that's the sea. Then we have here's a boat, here's another boat, and this is where the person is swimming, right? So then where is this person swimming? Here's boat one, and here's boat two. And here the person is swimming. So what means where is the person actually swimming? He swims the two boats. Basically just that example that or the picture example that I've given you. Here is the person swimming, and here we have the two boats. So he swims the two boats. And if we were to give the correct answer, then we would say he swims between the two boats. Right? So he swims between the two boats. All right, now let's go to our test. Which word makes more sense within the sentence? There are too many bugs in the water. Do we say there's too many bugs by the water? Or there are too many bugs between the water? We need to choose the correct preposition. There are too many bugs by the water, or there are too many bugs between the water. There are too many bugs by the water, or there are too many bugs between the water. What is our correct answer? Our preposition that tells us where there are too many bugs. Where will we find too many bugs? By the water or between the water? And if we were to choose the correct answer, we can say there are too many bugs by the water, right? All right, we eat lunch in front of the TV, or do we eat lunch on the TV? Which one is the correct word? The correct answer. We eat lunch in front of the TV, or we eat lunch on the TV. Do we sit on the TV and watch lunch, eat lunch, or do we sit in front of the TV and eat lunch? So we need to choose the correct preposition. We eat lunch in front of the TV, or we eat lunch on the TV. So we need to choose the correct preposition that tells us where something is happening, where we are eating lunch. In front of the TV, or are we eating lunch on the TV? All right, and if we were to choose the correct one, we will say we eat lunch in front of the TV because we sit in front of the TV and eat lunch. All right, so that is now the end of our lesson on prepositions. And we said prepositions, it tells us where something is or it tells us where something happens. And it's either like words such as on, beside, on top of, under, next to, by, between, right, in front of, next to. Those are but a few examples or common examples of prepositions, right? All right, so that is now the end of our lesson. Thank you very much, grade ones, for joining our lesson. Thank you for interacting, and I really hope that you do have a better understanding now of what prepositions is. So I hope that you're going to have a good evening further. Goodbye.